Hello and welcome to another episode of Who Knew in the Moment, the podcast. I'm your host, Phil Friedrich, and today I'm honored to have a familiar face on here. We have the founder of Johnny Slicks, Mr. Johnny, and one thing that we're going to be talking about today that is new in his world is we've got a book that he's authored, 23 Virtues in 23 Days, and we'll be talking through that a little bit. So encourage you to go check that out. But Johnny, thanks so much for being on today, my man.
Thank you, man. It's always, like I just said, it's always great to be on your podcast, man. Like you're so easy to talk to, and we just like time flies by when we're having a conversation. I always appreciate you taking the time to have a conversation with me. I'm very, very grateful and honored to have talk to you again and be on your show, man. Thank you.
Well, the feeling is mutual. So, for those of you that maybe don't know Johnny's story, we've got 2 episodes out that have highlighted it. But just a quick backdrop: Johnny was in the military, gets out of the military, and is just trying to figure out, hey, what is going to be my purpose? And ends up finding the opportunity to start a business. And I would love to say that day one, it was just off to the moon. But what ended up happening was scraping, clawing, scrapping together, creates a business. He and Nick kind of partner up, and that ends up being this dynamic duo that these two have created. And we're talking about a $300 investment to multiple 6-figure months in business and where they're at today. And so, Johnny, one thing I want to start with in your business is, originally there was a couple of products. And now there's a whole bunch of different products. There's a whole bunch of different, styles. Talk a little bit about scaling for you guys and what your strategy has been there in regards to, hey, do I want to master something and then look to add something? Is it, hey, we give a lot of feedback from our, customers and clients? Are we just sending it out to the market, seeing what sticks and scraping things if it doesn't? Give a little bit of a backdrop on that.
Yeah, so I'm the visionary of Johnny Slicks, and if there's any visionaries listening right now, I'm sure this will stick with you. I have what we call shiny object syndrome. So, and many entrepreneurs do, and it's a superpower, but it's also many times our own kryptonite. So for me, when my hair was falling out in 2015, when I first realized my hair was thinning, for me, it was just I have to solve my own problem. I've always been somebody that when a problem comes my way, I'm always just like, let me just solve it myself.
Yeah.
And I used to be what I deemed pridefully as a lone wolf. Now I know that it takes a team, and lone wolves fall to the wayside. But I was like, I got this problem, and hair thinning for men is like your ego, your confidence just gets like poked right there. You get like battered. So for me, I was like, I'm gonna keep real quiet, and I'm just gonna solve my own issue on my own. And I just wanted to figure out a pomade. I was really big into pomades in the Marine Corps, styling my hair.
Yeah.
And then I went into barber school and studied barbering for a while, and I realized I really liked hair styling. So I really just wanted to make a pomade that styled my hair and solved my thinning hair issue, which our ancestors did very naturally. That was a normal thing for them to do until we started adding all these chemicals and gases and everything to the products we have now on the market, the main industry market. People's hair didn't really fall out. And obviously we have hormone disruptors and all that stuff. And that's a whole nother conversation. And at the time, I didn't know nothing about that. I was just, my
Yeah.
hair's falling out. I need my hair back, and I needed to style. And I didn't want to do the Trump like comb. I didn't want to do any of that. I just wanted it to style and be easy and go about my day. So my first product and my first mission was to make a pomade that styled my hair and grew my hair back, or at least prevented my hair from thinning more. Then through the research, I realized that tea tree, jojoba, argan, they all help hair growth by increasing blood flow to your sebaceous glands. So your body produces more sebum and nutrients for your hair to actually start growing again, or at least,
Nice.
like I said, prevent it from thinning more, falling out
Yeah.
more. Because it is 90% genetic, but luckily for me, it does not run in my family at all. So I knew that wasn't the case. So as soon as I made the pomade, all of a sudden I was like, oh, I can actually write formulas. Like this is a skill set I have that I love research. I have perfectionism in my DNA, and I can use this as a superpower. But like I said earlier, it does quickly become a kryptonite because I'm like, okay, I'm growing a beard oil, beard wash. I need beard wash. And then I'm like, deodorant, beard balm, mustache wax, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, pre-wash. Like I just go, 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 go. And if I can write, as soon as I opened the door of I can write a formula, everything became available. I was like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make it all body lotions, everything. I want it all. I want the store at the grocery store to just be Johnny Slicks, the entire aisle. I want to make one of everything. I want every household in America. I want dishwasher soap. I want everything to be Johnny Slicks. However, money is a huge factor,
Yeah.
which a lot of visionaries and young entrepreneurs, they know that's a problem, but they don't really realize that it is what's holding them back.
Mm.
Cash flow is obviously a big thing too, but when you're a visionary, you just see your vision come to true, but you don't really necessarily see all of the money obstacles and production obstacles that are in your way. You just are very adamant about getting to that end goal. I want to see a finished product. That's it. That's my goal. And then you find the obstacles along the way, all the hindrances you hit. So at first, it was just that one product, and then it was 300 products. And then it was like, okay, we don't really have unlimited money. There's like $300 in the bank account. So
Yeah.
what can I do with that? I can't make everything. So it was really just me making a product, reaching out to my peers and some people around me and saying, what do you think about this? And them being brutally honest and constructive with their criticism on it, being like, I don't really think that's a thing. Flavored toothpaste that isn't mint, I don't think that's really going to hit the market well. Like people aren't really going to buy that. So putting that thing to put on the back burner, trying something new. Everybody washes their hair, so we knew that was going to be a big one. So it's really at this point strategic on what products we launch based on what the industry and what our demographic are interested in buying. But before it was just like launch everything and just
Yep.
see what sticks. And whatever sticks, keep it. Whatever doesn't, no emotions attached, just get rid of it. It can come back later, but get rid of it for now, you know?
I love that. Now, one thing you mentioned as you were chatting is that perfectionism trait, and that has a lot of pros, right? Because hey, I'm only going to give you my best. I'm going to make this as good as it possibly can be. The downside is oftentimes for people that are perfectionists is they want to have it 100% right before they ever release it, before they ever do it.
Yep.
And the reality is oftentimes you're not going to get it 100% right. It takes sending it out to the market to find out, oh shoot, that didn't hit like I thought it was going to. Here's the feedback we're getting. How can we adjust it? So talk a little bit about that, balancing act for you on the perfectionism. Like I want everything to, be as perfect as it can be, but also that reality or realization that I can do as much as I want, but eventually I have to get feedback from the market and then I can kind of critique or adjust from there.
Yeah, perfectionism used to devour me. It used to defeat me bad, like
Yeah.
bad. I would have almost crippling anxiety for things around me just because I wanted it to be perfect. And realistically, there is no such thing as I shouldn't say that. I am an efficiency monster. Like, I've been
Mm.
calling myself an aficionado lately. It's
Yeah.
my new keyword. I'm calling myself that.
Love it.
You cannot mix efficiency and perfectionism. It is not
Mm.
for yin and yang. They are damn near opposites because when you get to 100% like perfect, it can become more efficient. You can always fine tune something to make it a little bit more perfect or more efficient. And I, fortunately and unfortunately, have both of those things. So when it comes to being 100% ready, that's never going to exist. That it
Yeah.
really isn't. And by the time you feel that, it's too late. It's already gone. And then by that time, the perfect time is gone already. So for me, and Nick had a big part of this too, just saying, do it, just launch it. Like I was talking to you about my book. I'm just
Yep.
do it, man. Just do it. What are you waiting on? 80% is normally the rule. And we say that, but realistically for a visionary, there is no numeral scale. Like there's no like quantitative scale that I can reach out to. Like I'm working on deodorant right now. I say I'm 5% done. Well, I don't know what that means. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm like hundreds of formulas in, and I feel like I'm on the verge of it, but that could be 50. I don't know. It's just a matter of feeling based when it comes to product creating. So for me, I had a really good friend of mine, Cody Alford, tackled my perfectionism and shifted my mindset with this, where he said,
Mm.
are you right-handed or left-handed? And I said, right-handed. He said, okay, grab a pencil with your left hand and a piece of paper, and I want you to draw what you see as a house. You have 60 seconds. Go. So with my left hand, all shaky and weird, and like I'm cavemaning it like a toddler, and I'm just like drawing this house, and I draw windows and a roof and a little sidewalk and some flowers and grass. And he goes, "Okay, time. That's it. Now, did you draw a house?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's terrible, but yeah, that's a house."
Yeah.
He goes, "Take a photo of it and set it as your wallpaper for the next 30 days." Every time you look at that, you'll remember that the point, the goal,
Mm,
your purpose was to draw a house.
yeah.
Not the perfect house, but draw a house. And you did
Yep.
it. Achieve. You goal done. Move on. Go to the next thing. And I did that.
Mm,
And it broke something in my brain because I'm like, oh, my definition of done is
yeah.
not realistic. That's not a
Mm,
realistic goal to set. What is done? So if
yep.
I want to launch a product, the goal is to launch a product, not a perfect product. It by
Yeah.
no means is anything going to be perfect. Even my products right now, I can make them better, but that doesn't mean go and do it. Like, don't people love the product? I'm
Yep.
not, they consider it perfect. And
Yep.
that's what matters. It's not my view of perfectionism. It's my community's view of perfectionism and how I can serve that. It's not about me. So when I go into a product or when I go into anything and I'm thinking about, oh, it can be fine tuned a little bit more, it can be perfected in this way, there is a balance. You do need to do your best. Always do your best with whatever you're doing. Always. But
Yep.
does that mean perfect? Not necessarily. Perfect and best are very different. And like I
Yep.
said, these are feeling scales. We all feel like perfect is different. Like, look how you're dressed. Look how I'm dressed. You look amazing, by the way. Like that
Hey,
suit
you
is
did too,
incredible.
brother.
That's what I'm saying. Is like we both are saying that. So like,
Yep.
what is perfect? What is best? You know, we're
Mhm.
all doing our best with what we have. So as long as you understand that, um, you can find that balance inside of you. And what works for me doesn't work for you. There's another thing too when it comes to transparent communication. So I do believe that there's no such thing as accidents, and there's every single problem in the world can be solved with clear and honest communication. No hidden intent or no hidden agenda behind you. Clear and honest communication to another person can prevent all accidents, all problems, all arguments, everything. So when I
Right.
go to launch a product, I tell people this is my best version of this. And I always invite criticism. As long as it's constructive and you're looking out for the best interests of the community, I will always take your criticism with open arms, man. Like, I
Yeah.
want to make my products and my life better for the people around me. But I can't do that if they don't tell me. But it
Yep.
starts with us. If I am transparent communicating to you, then you will transparently communicate back to me. If I'm honest to you, you're honest to me. It starts with me. I have to first do that and open that invitation to you. So when you're going to do something and perfectionism's involved, tell the person you have perfectionism syndrome and it is a kryptonite and it keeps you up at night. Then
Yeah.
they know they can most of us do have that, right? We all have some sort of like OCD, perfectionism,
Yeah.
ADD, right? Obviously I do have that ADD, I'm like wired up. Um, as long as you tell that person, there's a form of understanding that they're going to give you. And if you
Yep.
don't tell them, their expectations of you are now uncommunicated and they're not met. That expectation is not met. So if I say I'm going to launch a product, it's about 90% done. I invite you to give me your feedback, please. People do it because they want what's best. So I go and
Good.
I fix it. And then all of a sudden now the community made this product for the community. So it's really helped whenever I have perfectionism or I'm trying to make something more efficient, always communicate. There's a form of over communication, but not when it comes to being honest. You can
Yeah.
never be too honest. The truth only has one truth, you know? So
Yep.
like just be honest with everyone around you and people will give you grace always, every single time.
I think that's great. Speaking of community, you guys have done such an amazing job of building the brand. And what I mean by that is, you have great marketing and you have great products, but you also have people, that want to use all of the products, right? It's not like, hey, I go to, Johnny Slicks for my shampoo, but I actually get, my pomade from this company. It's like, well, no, usually I use you for all of my hair needs, right? Or all of my showering needs. And so when you think about that, I know over the years you've done a lot of different, great things. At one point you had an ambassador program and there's different giveaways that you're consistently doing to keep people engaged with the brand. But talk a little about, that intentionality that you have of not just being recognized, but really building a culture within a brand.
Um, so for me, we all understand corporate. When we say that, when we say corporate, everybody has an idea of what that means in their head, but it
Yeah.
usually stems on the idea or the concept policy over people, right? I get that
Yeah.
backwards. Policy over people.
Yep.
Um, that's usually how we all view corporate. So when we were starting Johnny Slicks, that was really one of the main things we wanted to go against. We wanted to bring people away from that concept and show them that that isn't the only life that you can live in. Now, there are other generations ahead of us, and all of our parents, everybody's traumatized from their parents, right? But our
Yep.
parents did the best they could with the information they were given at the time, right?
Yep.
We do the same thing, but it's up to us to break that tradition and ask, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I was taught to do this or because
Mm,
I believe in this? So at Johnny Slicks during the early days, we really wanted to bring people away from their corporate jobs and offer them another form of life where it's very much people over policy. We have policies, but they're there to serve the people, not the other way around.
yeah.
And that really shifted how we operated as a business because it was just Nick and I. Like before that, it was just me in my kitchen. Like I didn't have
Yeah.
a culture. I just did. You know what I mean? And then when we
Yeah.
started out, Nick and I had to compromise on because he's his own person, I'm my own person. We had to compromise and negotiate on what do you think the mission statement is? What do you think our core values are? And we narrowed down our core values on the foundation of the company. Those are seen in everything we do, every single action, but ultimately it comes into tradition breaking, asking questions, adapting to the world around you, and being a better version of yourself. And those things aren't really offered at corporate jobs in other parts of the country and other parts of the world. So we wanted
Yeah.
to do something a little different and really serve the people. And then as we started growing, it just spread like wildfire, man. Like when you hire somebody and you tell them, I love you, I care for you, I want what's best for you. If you
Mm.
want to leave, that's cool. I will help you go someplace. Like people are like, am I being punked? Like,
Yeah. Right.
are you joking? But
Yeah.
it's really how we operate. And we show that with our actions. Cause even corporate businesses, they say that, but then they
Right.
don't do it. So like,
Yep.
obviously actions are everything. You could say a million things, but your actions are what speak loud. So for us, whenever we had those situations, we acted naturally as if we do care about people because we do love everybody here. And then all of a sudden the work got done on its own. Like it just started to happen because they started to care about the things that we started to care about. And then it just snowballed, snowballed. And then the products we sold, and the more we talked about this, the more our demographic was like, that's it. I love it. And since Nick and I are Marines, we serve the service members.
Yeah.
They are in that same mentality. We all serve each other. So why not serve each other serving each other? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it all just kept going, going, going. And now it's like, it's just like breathing. Like the culture here is very similar to breathing. Every word I say or everything I do speaks on the foundation of our core values on love, serving, communication, everything about the company comes into serving the people.
Love it. Now, kind of talking to, your mindset, your mentality, because I do believe it for most places, it starts with a top down, but it becomes effective when it can be kind of self-governed, right? It's not always John, hey, having to come say, well, that's not how we do it here. It's when, the person alongside of you is willing to say, hey, that's not how we do this, right? Or
Yep.
here's what we believe in. And I think for you, you have a humbleness to your personality. I mean, like you're saying earlier, hey, I want feedback, right? Like give me, the knowledge that of things that I'm not seeing. So talk a bit about for you the willingness and ability to humble yourself, even though, hey, I'm the founder of the company, right? You strike me as someone who I would say has probably never told his team, oh, that job's too small for me. I'm not going to do that, right? No, I feel
Yeah.
like you would step in at any role, but talk a little about, willingness to do that and not letting the success and the growth of the company, you know, get to an ego where, hey, I know what's best. I don't need any, comments or criticisms from outside influence. What I'm doing works and I'm just going to roll that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
It
really,
really,
really got
it,
strong in the company, like you said in the beginning there, where I don't need to be present in order to make adjustments in the company. I believe what makes a good leader is the people under him becoming leaders.
mm,
So when my managers are able to become leaders and lead their team, that tells me as the guy behind the curtains that I am a good leader because I taught
yeah.
them. I think the same thing goes for the family tree. You don't really know you're a good parent until your kids have kids. And if
Mm,
those kids come out good and everything's good, then you know you were a good parent because you raised good parents. I think the same exact thing for leaders. You know you're a good leader when you have raised good leaders. So I'm able to step away because I have made good leaders in the company, and they can govern themselves and allow themselves, personal development and growth in their own way. And they know how to communicate to their teams now. It provides space, like nature adheres to space. So if I provide space, if I'm just not here anymore, the job is still going to get done. Now it's not going to be perfect, right? My form of perfect,
Yep.
but it's going to get done, which is the point in their own way. So as my job as a leader, now all I do is when it comes to what I'm looking for in the company, I provide my vision, my why, and my expectations, which come
Yeah.
in the only form that I can manage as a leader or a human being in general is a time frame and what I want done. That's it. That's all I can manage. By no means am I telling them how to do it, when to do it, well, where to do it. All I want is my vision and a time frame, and that's it. And then they go and they're like, the leader gave me full space to do whatever I
Yeah.
want here. Like, do whatever you want. As long as I communicate those expectations, it's all good, right?
Yep.
But when it came to, I feel like naturally, I've never had an ego be inflamed. Now, obviously, everybody has an ego, whether
Yeah.
it's too low or too high. And that's actually one of my next books is the ego, the voice in your head, how to be in tune with it, how to sync up with that voice in your head to be on the same page. Um, I feel like I hit a roadblock at one point because right when we became like an 8-figure company, I was like, oh, damn, this is not only serious, this is super serious. Like now we're reaching a different level of this. Like we're going to start looking for these awards and going places. And like we're getting attention from like financial institutions and all that. They're reaching out to us now. It's changed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just a dude. Okay. So I'm just a guy, right? Just like you, just like
Yeah.
everybody here. We're just people. There's nothing special about me. There's nothing special about you. We're all people just doing our
Yep.
stuff, right? We all have our different purposes and different little wacky things and things we got going on, right? But I just have a really strong vision and I have a really strong why. And I have a great form of communication where I can inspire people to believe in what I believe in. That's not just, anything, but that's helped me grow to where I am.
Yeah.
I have naturally, since I can remember, I've always had low confidence. I've
I've
always
always
doubted myself. I've always thought, who am I to be doing this? Like, I have my own office. Who am I to have my own office? I'll just give it to one of them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why am I more important? And then I had a good conversation with a friend, and he said, there's a difference between humility and confidence. There's a big difference between them. And being humble you can have a lot of confidence and be humble, right?
Yeah.
Um, Terry Crews did a big long segment on this as well. That was incredible. So I think at my point is understanding always, and I have a very strong team for this, always understanding that I am not the most important thing in this room. I am
Mhm.
never the most important thing anywhere I go. And I created a slogan for myself that wherever I go, there's an ecosystem. Even right now, wherever you're sitting, where I am, there's an ecosystem around us. I am not here to conquer my ecosystem. I'm here to get in line with it, to be in sync with it, to
Mm.
feel my ecosystem and be in line with it. Once you get into the point where you need to conquer your ecosystem, it becomes an ecosystem. Now it all
Mm.
revolves around you. You want to be the center of attention. And that's usually where frustration, lack of patience, all of those problems stem in the ego trying to conquer your ecosystem. Always been that way. And I understand that. I not only understand that, I live that. So when
Yeah.
I go someplace, I am never a guy that throws a door open, screams, I am here, give me coffee. I always walk in and quietly, and I just kind of see what's going on. Cause like, dude, they're working. Like, isn't that what I want? I don't want pats on the back. I want
Yeah.
everyone to be working. I want jobs. I want American source jobs. I want us to be all in tune with each other. So when I walk into an ecosystem, it's always that. It's not about me. It's not about me. By no means is this about me. It is Johnny Slicks and I'm Johnny, but Johnny Slicks is much bigger than me. Much, much bigger than me. And how much of a disservice would it be if I did not allow it to be bigger than me for everybody in the community? And that goes against my values of trying to serve and serving my community. It just goes against it. So it's always kind of
For sure.
been, I've never been on the fence where I'm like, oh, I'm becoming egotistical. Oh, no, I've never really been on that ever that I can remember.
I love it. Now, something you mentioned was, growing that next level leader. And I think that can be a difficult task for many people. But one thing that you mentioned is, hey, here's kind of how I operate. I give a task, I give a time frame, I delegate, right? I say, hey, this is your opportunity. What are, one or two practical things that someone listening right now that runs a business, runs an organization, can be doing with their next level leaders to help grow them into trustworthy leaders that they feel are well equipped to, carry on the mission, the vision, the values of the company.
So two things. One is have core values.
Yeah.
Core values do not mean plug and play what is not getting done in your company, right? So like
Mm,
there's people
yeah,
that if attention to detail and adaptability is not getting done at that company, they make it a core value to try to force people to do it. That is not how core values work. That is just a policy. You're making a policy.
yeah,
And if you force people to operate on a policy that does not have a value behind it, you're just shooting in the wind. Like there's nothing you do. Core values are your baseline. That is your foundation of your company. Every action you make needs to be in line with that. If you change your goal, as long as that goal lies on that foundation, you can build.
yeah,
If our goal is transparent communication. So I'm sorry, one of our core values is transparent communication. So if I go and do things without talking to anybody, I just went against our core values. So when an action I get an email for something, how I respond, I used to have to go through the core values, but it's us, it's who we are. So
yeah,
every action needs to lie in that. I need to be communicative to this person transparently. And if they don't like it, then they find their way out. That's just
yep,
how it is. Starting, always have a strong foundation of your core value and breathe those core values. Every single thing you do should speak those core values into existence. If you're trying, and this is not a business thing, this is a human thing. If you're trying to lose weight and that is your goal, and being true to yourself is a value. Being honest and true to yourself is a value, a core value of yours. And you go to Subway and you order a sub and they offer you a cookie. That action, that decision that you have to make should go back on your core values. I am
yeah,
truth, honest, and my goal is to lose weight. So no, that's an easy decision. No, I'm good. Thank you.
mm,
But if you
yeah,
don't have that core value, you're going to say yes because there's
yep,
nothing to stop you. There's no meter to say yes or no anymore. So it's feeling based, which is most things in life. So when you have a strong foundation of core values with a goal, everybody can be in line. We can all be paddling in the same direction. We all be tracking in the same position. The second thing when it comes to building a strong team behind you is this technique I learned earlier in the year. It's called the 1-3-1.
okay,
You want your team, your managers, anybody underneath you, you want them to be able to make decisions on your behalf, right? That is true delegation.
yep,
Because they're going to encounter obstacles. Like I want them to scale manufacturing. I want them to get a bigger machine. They're going to encounter manufacturing obstacles, right? How do they know what to do? Do they just assume that this is what Johnny would do, right? They just assume that and then they make a wrong decision, but it was right in their eyes and I'm not happy with it. So now I have to yell at them or correct them in
mm,
some way or hold them
yeah,
accountable to a decision that they thought was right. That's not how you build leaders. That's not how you do it. So this technique called 1-3-1, one problem, three potential solutions, and one of their solutions and why. The why is
mm,
very important. So I'm trying to think of a quick scenario, but say I'm not here, right? And machine comes in and it's broken. It was a $30,000 machine and the pump won't work. The problem is the pump won't work. The machine is busted. Here are three potential solutions, A, B, and C. I would choose C because blah, 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 blah. And then they propose that to me. I review it and I say, actually, I would choose B because that goes more with adaptability. Let's try to solve it on our own before reaching out to them, right?
yeah,
Write a why I pick B, give it back to them. Eventually, they'll start to learn how and why I'm making decisions.
mm,
And then they become a leader that is making decisions on my behalf with confidence.
it's good,
Simplicity equals confidence. That's just how it is. When you make things complex, when you have complicated answers and complicated decisions and actions, now there's no confidence with the person making the decision. What's to say they're just going to sit on this problem now for a while until I come back? And now I come back from vacation from Yellowstone that we just went to, and there's
yeah,
300 problems. But instead, I come back and I'm like, hey, this problem, what happened? Oh, yeah, yeah. What decision did you make? Oh, dope, man. Nice. High fives. Cool. You want to go get some coffee? Let's go. Like
yeah,
that's how the world we live in now. So that 1-3-1 has been crucial to our operating just when it comes to passing the baton off. Because you got to say, this is my pace. This is how I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Like you have to communicate that baton pass off properly and instill confidence in that person. And then the world is theirs, you know?
I think that's great. And I think the explanation part on your side too, like, hey, if I'm not gonna be in agreement with C, then here's why I'm telling you B, because otherwise, right? Person goes, well, I felt like that was a good option, but clearly I was wrong, and
Yeah.
we don't gain confidence. But if we can get
Yeah.
perspective, that
Mhm.
can help breed confidence. So
The why is the single most important part of any passing or delegation, explaining why you want something done. Because if they don't know why, they're just going to assume their own perspectives,
yep,
which is not wrong. That's a correct thing to do when you're not provided a why. So,
yep. That's so good. Now, you hinted at this earlier, but given today's landscape and the first 9 months of the year have been talked about tariffs more than probably any time since you've been in business.
Yeah.
And here we are, an American-made company, produced here locally. Talk a little bit about one, why that's important to you, but two, maybe even some of the, you know, lack of stressors you've maybe encountered that other companies have been having to navigate, like, oh crap, we don't really have control over this element of our business where you've
Yeah.
been able to say, well, I know who's making my product, I know what that looks like. I know where we're shipping it. So talk a little about that.
Yeah, man, when they hit tariffs, I was like, I haven't watched the news in 10 years. I don't watch the news at all. It's the same. What I hear is it's the same. Like planes are crashing, people are dying.
Yeah.
Things are always the same. Weather's coming, like, you know what I mean? So I haven't
Yep.
watched the news in a while, but when I heard the tariffs were coming in, I was like, first off, I'm not like I have a degree in marketing. I'm not that smart of a guy, right? Like, like what the hell is a tariff? So I'm like, what is a tariff on my computer? I don't know what this is. I'm like, oh, overseas, we're good, man. I don't even got to worry about this anymore. And then every time, tariffs popped up on my Instagram feed or anything like that, I'm like, I don't know. What am I going to do? So I reached out to all my vendors. I'm like, hey, is anybody being affected by this that I don't know about? And I kind of did that as a two-way to be like, are you guys American
Yeah.
sourced? Or are you pulling one over on me? Which
Yeah.
it's not a lack of trust. It's just verifying, and
Absolutely.
things change. I've been doing business with these guys for like 8 years and I don't know what
Yeah.
happened. You know what I mean? So just checking in, seeing if everybody's good, all my vendors and all my relationships. And then it hit me that some of my peers are going through it. So I reach out to them and say, what can I provide insight on? How can I help? And there's nothing new under the sun, man. All these things we're going through, they've just been on repeat. We're just like, it looks different, it feels different, but it's the same thing that's always been happening, right? We
Yep.
have prices, the economy goes up, the economy goes down, gas goes up, like it's all doing this all the time. It's all on our ability to adapt. How well can we adapt? And like, that is so crucial. Luckily, Nick and I are both Marines, so that's kind of like in our DNA now. So
Absolutely.
adaptability is so secondary for us. 2020 was more of a hit because it stopped American manufacturing. So
Hmm.
I ran out of bottles, I ran out of beeswax, I ran out of jars, the caps, I ran out of liners for my caps, and it was random. It was like I think it was like 2022 or something like that, where everything was cruising, everything's good, we're paying too much on tax, but that's all right, we'll deal with it later. And it was like all of a sudden there's a plastic manufacturer out in Texas that been seized. It'd been shut down by the FDA or something like that for a 2-week investigation. So now all my bottles, everything that's PET recycled plastic is now on hold and I don't have enough. And I don't have enough backing or lending or any funds to be able to buy enough supply to have that not affect me. So I'm like, oh man, what am I going to do? But adaptability, pivoting, what else
Adaptability.
can
Yeah.
I do? They were still available clear bottles. They overproduced clear, but not amber because amber is a special bottle. So I was like, we'll just say the beast went naked and do clear bottles. Let's do it, man. Let's launch it. And we
Yeah.
made a fun thing out of it. So when it comes to tariffs, when it comes to any type of kind of like shift in the economy or the ecosystem you're in, it's up to you to either let it cripple you or let it like have you adapt and become a
Yeah.
stronger version of yourself and find a way around it. So now because we went through and 2020 was our first 7-figure year. We made more money that year than ever before. It was wild, man, based on
Amazing.
our adaptability. Mainly because we said we're not playing that game like, let's go. Let's make soap, like we're making
Yep.
soap. We're helping clean people,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
um, our ability to adapt was tested over and over and over again. And now we have all this experience under our belt. So when something happens with the government shutdown, or the economy shifts, we're like, oh, we've done this before. It looks a little different, but we know
Yep.
how to do this. Let's play that play. I'll grab that playbook and let's do this. So
So
it's
good.
all about experience and not letting that stuff cripple you. It's about letting it come because it's gonna come. There's nothing you can do
Yep.
about it. You can vote, you can do this, but if a different president was in office, something else would be happen. Like it's always gonna change. So instead of trying to force the world around you to change, how about just being okay with on a raft on the river you are and just letting it take you, and then you adapt when it comes to you. It's way
Love that.
easier that way than fighting against that current. So tariffs were kind of a hit, and it was a little scary at first because I didn't know how it was going to affect us, and it's different. I
Yep.
never knew what tariffs were, so I'm like, is that going to affect us in any way, like at all? And then we were like, no, okay, well, let's move on to the next thing. Let's prep for the next thing. So it
Yep.
was kind of interesting to have something not affect us because everything is sourced in America. Everything we do is American source. So I can drive anywhere in the country and see any of my vendors at all and see them making the bottle, see them making the caps, see them actually harvesting the beeswax. It's all right here in America. So tariffs were like, easy. Let's move on. Let's go. Let's not give any energy to that, you know?
I love it. To talk about, adaptability, that's probably a good segue to talk about the 23 virtues. You wrote a book, 23 virtues in 23 days. One side of it, unless you just love Michael Jordan and wanted to do an ode to Michael Jordan, why 23? But, talk a little bit about the inspiration for it. And, we were talking about that, just, had this goal and desire to do it. And it took a nudge from a friend to just do it. So, talk a little bit about the kind of the inspiration for the book, and then let's dive into some of the virtues there.
So I am not, I know probably looking at me, you wouldn't guess, but I'm not a fan of sports of anything. I used to skateboard and that was it, man. Like you watch me
Yeah.
play basketball and it was like, okay, give me that thing, man. I had to lower, we just went to a Airbnb and they had a basketball hoop and I lowered it all the way and I still couldn't make nothing, man. It was like, I'm going to go play pickleball. Like, I'll
There
go
you
do
go.
I am not I didn't even know 23 was relevant to that at all. It was just, okay, so here's why it's 23. And like I said, I'm not a very smart guy, 30 days to me, too much. It's too much. I wanted to make something unique as a book. I
Yeah.
wanted it to be a little bit quirky because I'm a little bit quirky. 30 is too basic, too boring, and 30 day, whatever. And 30 is a big commitment, right? And then I was like, well, what if I just do 7? And then I was like, it's too short, man. Like people they'll just be done one and done. And can I fit everything in here in 7 days in a 7-day book? And it is a daily devotional book. So it does require the person to be devoted to this thing, right? Um, and I was like, what if I just do 30 days miles a week? What's that? 23? All right, let's do that. So I started writing out all the virtues that I value, patience, adaptability, everything there. I was like, I think I had like 25. And honestly, I'm not a fan of 25. It just it didn't feel right. I don't know. I'm a feelings guy, So I
Yeah.
was like, I'll just do 23. I'll mix in. I think there was 2 at the end. I combined them. Tradition breaking and something else. I forget. I combined them. And I was like, I'll just do 23. That's kind of cool, man. And I like the way, I know it sounds stupid. I like the way 2 and 3 look together. It kind of
Yeah.
looks okay, right? Like for a book.
Yeah.
So the cover, I did a prototype and I was like, that looks cool. I dig that, man. So I came out with 23 virtues in 23
Yeah.
days. It takes you 23 days to perform 23 virtues. And the concept behind it, I really wanted to write a book. First off, I really, really wanted to write a book. Ever since I can remember, I wanted to do like a gentleman's guide on how to be like a gentleman. Like you don't cut bread, you break bread. Like, never
Mm,
ask for a handkerchief back, like those type of things. But it
yeah.
never really came to fruition. It never really felt right for me because I cut bread. So I was like, I can't really write a book and then not be living it. That's kind of
Yeah.
weird, right? It's like a plumber with leaky pipes. So I was like, I'm gonna write a book. I talked to a good friend, Matt Vincent. He said and this was just in late February of this year. I was telling him about it, and he was just like shaking his head, and he was like, "Man, just do it. Just do it. What are you gonna just do it, man? You already got it. Just do it. Like publish it yourself or use Amazon and just do it. This isn't 1980. You don't need to send it off to somebody for their permission. Like just write it. Like who cares, man? And say you sell none." And then he said the thing, "Are you writing it for you? Or are you writing it for other people?" And I
Yeah.
said, that's a good question, man. I'm writing it for me to serve other people. And he said, so what if one guy buys it and it changes his life? Would you be happy? I said,
Yep.
yes. So done. I wrote it. So within 30 days, I had a prototype done. I had to figure out every virtue I wanted. And I sent you a copy of the book. So I'm sure
Yeah.
you looked at it real quick, but I have the virtue. So first one is patience. I think me personally, I am terrible with patience, but patience comes if you want to be patient with the world around you, you need to be patient with yourself first, right? In order
Mm,
to love other people, you need to love yourself first. Because if you don't love yourself, then the love you're giving other people is not real, right? So
yeah.
if I want to be patient on the road when I'm driving with people, I need to be patient with myself first and then use that patience to give it to other people. So patience is the first day. I give the definition of patience, where the word comes from, my own definition of patience. So say the word is like Greek or old English or French. You can
Yeah.
break up the word. Fun fact: the word calm is Greek, old Greek, and it meant the heat of the day, which I thought was
Mm,
really unique, and it changed how I viewed the word calm and how I used the virtue calm. So in Greek, at noon, the heat of the day, everyone would stop working. Siesta.
right.
We all stop working. We all calm down because it's so hot. So
Yeah.
everyone just sits still, everyone calms down, everyone drinks, and that's where the word calm comes from. So now when I think of calm, I think of no movement, stillness, easy thoughts, everything like that. And that is truly what the word calm means, because that's where it stems from. And then over the years, we've kind of changed it to be like a remain calm, like, you know what I mean? Like, but you're saying that with
Yeah.
aggression, you know? So the definition, I give a quote from somebody who's made a lastful impact in the world. And then I give 5 opportunities that you will find throughout your day to remain patient or be patient. Opportunities outside, and then 5 examples of patience inside, opportunities that you'll present yourself. So I have, you ever hear the saying, the teacher will appear when the student is ready?
Yeah.
So Lao Tzu said that way, way long ago, like hundreds of years BC, right? Like,
Yeah.
and that is true. Like, there's a saying: if you look for red cars, you'll find red cars. That you only see what you look for, right?
Yep.
So if you're looking to be patient today, you will be tested. Like, the teacher will appear because you are willing and able to find those opportunities. And now it's up to you to recognize the opportunity and be patient. You'll always encounter things you seek, right? And for me, virtues have been so crucial. Identifying virtues have been so crucial in my life that I need to have or help other people find that, right? I need to encourage other people to find those virtues. So, how many virtues are there? When you look up virtues, millions, millions of
Right.
different virtues. It's overwhelming. But what if I told you just focus on one a day? Just
Mm.
focus on adaptability today. And you wake up and you say, universe, God, whatever you believe on, I am seeking adaptability today. Whatever you throw at me, I will seek opportunities to be adaptable and I will try to apply adaptability to it. As soon as you wake up, your feet hit the floor, you're immediately going to be hit with thoughts and opportunities to apply adaptability. All of a sudden, your coffee maker broke.
Yep.
Time for adaptability. What are you going to do? You know?
Right.
And most of the time, we find pain and frustrations in our life when we don't not only don't recognize those opportunities, but we don't know what to do in those opportunities. But if today you're being patient and there's an accident on the road, and normally you'd be upset on your way to work because you're stuck in traffic, now it's about being patient. And then all of a sudden, empathy comes in, and you're like, "Man, I hope those people are okay. I wonder this person right next to me might his firstborn might be in the hospital right now, about to be born, and he's missing that. I'm just on my way to work, and I hate my work." So it's like now this virtue is now allowing you to connect to the world around you in a happy and peaceful way, which is the point of the book. So as soon as I had a prototype, I gave it out to a bunch of friends, and they were like, "Dude, this thing is awesome! Like, you wrote this?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, it was all in here, you know." And then I launched on Amazon, I published it on Amazon, and people are loving it, man. I'm getting messages constantly of people that are like, "Man, this is like connecting to me. Like, patience is definitely the best one to have day one." I'm like, "That's for me," but yeah, it worked for you too, you know. But it was definitely something that was in my mind that I needed to get out, and I just needed my friend to just be like, "Hey, just do it, man. You're writing it for you. Do it." Like, you know.
Well, and I love that point of, when you have a virtue or a North Star, something you're working towards, right? It almost creates an opportunity for you to reframe everything that happens. And it goes from good or bad to I'm just working on this thing, right? This is an opportunity for me to work on my patience. It's an opportunity for me to work on my empathy. So I love that kind of adjustment to the mindset.
Yeah, and it comes from I don't find any fulfillment in any form of religion at all. If anything, it's more spiritual.
Yeah.
Because we're all people, and I think we're all saying the same thing, just with different labels and different words. We're all saying the same thing. We all want to live happy. We want to live and be loved and love other people. Um, but there is a form of stoicism that comes into that. Marcus Aurelius wrote an incredible, well, it's his diary, but an incredible book, Meditations, which was my first introduction into that kind of concept, that there is no such thing as bad. There's only opportunities for something different. And that comes into everything. Death, one of the biggest impacts we can have on our life, a loved one dying. It's an opportunity to really remember their life, right? It's an opportunity to find other people that they connected with and start a relationship with those people. You can always find something in the ashes. You can always find something, some sort of meaning in the ashes. So when it came to the book, it was almost like, okay, well, you want to call this bad and just be upset? Is that fun? Do you like living life like that? What if I told you there's another way? What if I
Yeah.
told you that there's a way to look at this where you can find fulfillment, peace, and love? Why would you
Mm,
not want to live in that way? But it's all up to you as the reader, as a human being. It's up to you to decide, is this going to conquer me or create me? It's something, it's going to happen one of the way or the other. And then it started to kind of delve into, well, if there's no bad, that means there's no good. And then it started to get like really Taoist and Buddhist. And I was like, oh, this is going off. I don't want to take it too far into that way. But I
yeah,
wanted people to understand that I don't know if you've heard the story of the Chinese farmer where
love it.
oh, you do? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So,
but sure,
just
sure, sure.
briefly
It's
yeah,
great.
just briefly. So, there's a Chinese farmer. One day he wakes up and one of his prize horses ran off. So all the farm people came out, the neighbors came over and they said, "Oh, what a shame." And he just said, "Maybe." The next day that prize horse came back with 3 wild horses. And the neighbor people came by and they said, "Wow, that's amazing." And he said, "Maybe." The following day his son was trying to tame one of those horses, fell off and broke his arm. All the neighbor people came by and said, "Well, what a shame." And he said, "Maybe." The following day, the army came by and tried to take his son for the army, but they couldn't take him because his arm was broken. So the neighbor people came by and said, "Wow, that's awesome." And he said, "Maybe." So how can something go from good to bad? How
Yep.
can something change that drastically? What if everything you're encountering just is? Right? So that's how I started to really write the book, where it's like everything that's happening for you is just what it is. There's two people walking down the street. One guy is a theft, he's a thief, and he goes and robs the other person. How can one scenario be good for one guy and bad for another? It was the same exact thing. Both people were present. Is it because one guy made off with stuff and one guy got stuff taken? But what if he was going to use that money to drink himself to death? Is that bad guy now a hero? There's
Right.
too many factors in our world that we encounter to label something as blanketed as good or bad, especially when the next day it can flip. And
Hmm.
now we're stuck on, no, that's good. It can't be bad. No, that's good. And now you're stuck in the past and you're not
Yep.
living now. Do you know? So
Right.
instead of labeling things as these good or bad moments, just label it as what it is and be happy and grateful that you got to be there for it, whatever.
Mm,
And that's really the biggest concept of all of my writing. It comes down to that. And I'm working on my second and third book now to help people not only find their virtues, tame that voice inside their head so that when they set a goal, I want to lose weight, that voice inside your head doesn't say, no, you're not worth it. No, you're not worthy of love. No, you can't do that. How do you tame that voice so then you and it are on the same page to conquer your goals? And then the third book is how to find other people like you by
mm,
acting and applying your virtues and being in line with your ego and yourself. Now, by law of attraction, you're going to attract other people similar to you and you're going to start your own little tribe. And it's going to be controversial. I know it because I'm naming the book How to Put the Cult in Culture. Because a cult really is just a group of people that are devoted to a single thing. Granted,
right.
the word cult is pejorative. It's a negative connotation to it, but
Yep.
realistically, it's just a group of people that believe and are devoted to the same thing. And if you are devoted to adaptability and honesty and community, go to a sporting event. That's a
Right.
cult. Go to a rock concert.
Absolutely.
That's a cult. They all believe and dude, they dress up like they're all
Yeah.
wearing the same thing. Like just like we are here at Johnny Slicks. Like you and your tribe are in the same mindset. You walk the same, you talk the same, you believe the same things. And if you feel alone in this life, it's because you're not acting on your virtues and you're not in line with yourself,
Mm,
that voice inside your head. So as soon as you get those two little things in a row, you'll start attracting other people. You go to a grocery store and people will notice your confidence and they want that, or they have confidence and you get along with them. Those
mm.
type of things just naturally happen. So I'm really excited to launch. Well, right. I'm all the way in. I'm all in perfectionism. Tell me about it, man. I'm like, when am I done? I'm just gonna keep writing. But I am like all the way in the trenches writing these books right now. So I'm really excited to launch them and give them out to people.
Amazing. Now, I'll kind of ask this as the last thing. You just kind of mentioned, hey, when I'm ready, someone that can teach me will appear. Oftentimes, that person's are been there, right? You're
Mhm.
just now aware that they're there, or you're just now looking for the guidance they're willing to give. For you as you're growing your business, are there mentors that I mean, you and Nick partnered up? I think probably originally it was more of a mentor-mentee relationship, and over time, obviously, I'm not speaking for you or for either of you, but
Yeah,
it
yeah, of
seems like
course.
it's more of a even playing field. Like, hey, we're
Yeah.
co-doing this. But for you right now, is there anyone that has appeared, right, has shown up, has become, a next level mentor as you're, venturing into new waters with the business and the growth of it?
Yeah. And it's all about like and people say like, oh, you're really ignorant and try to use that as an insult. By definition, ignorant just means you don't know something. It's very
Mm.
much okay. Everybody's ignorant till they know something, right? It's
Yep.
okay. It's
Yep.
actually good to be ignorant. Where it
Yeah.
comes into bad is being arrogant, right? Arrogance
Yeah.
is the refusal to learn. Ignorance is
Mm.
just not knowing something. So
Yeah.
when you come to the I'm not a sports guy. The batting area, when you step up to the plate, right? And you
Yep.
have the opportunity, hey, I want to grow, I want to learn, I want to do something more with my life. You now need to flip away from being arrogant, as in, I don't want to learn. I don't want to read the ingredients on my stuff because I know it's bad. I don't want that. You become ignorant to be like, what is this? What is methylchlorine 8? What is that? That's ignorant, right? Arrogant is like, I don't want to hear that. Get that away from me. So when you step
Yeah.
up to the plate, always choose ignorance because then you're just open. You're an open book, man. Just like somebody's going to come around and be like, "Hey, do you know what that is?" And be like, "No, I don't know what that is." And it's like, "Here, let me tell you." Boom, 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 boom. Right, and then you
Yeah.
take all of this experience from people. So for me, I've had a ton of mentors over the time, and they eventually become peers because they're such great mentors and leaders that they want you up there with them. So there's a saying: "Those at the bottom compete, and those at the top collaborate." So
Mm.
it's kind of like Honda, right? You go to a Honda dealership, you can negotiate price all day, because if you walk out, they're going to have six more that come in. They don't
Yep.
care. But you go to a Rolls Royce, you're not negotiating that price. They understand their value and they
Yep.
understand that you are there for them, right?
Mm.
So a
Yep.
lot of great mentors understand that they see value in you, they see potential, and they want you by their side. They don't want you forever underneath them, right? The best coaching services coach people to eventually become coaches because
Right.
they're such good teachers that they can inspire other people to want to teach as well. Great leaders lead leaders, right? And they build up
Yeah.
leaders. So over the years, I've had mentors and they become peers, become partners. And now, actually, one of the co-founders or one of the founders, there's a few of them of Under Armour is actually been helping us grow our business dramatically. Like
Amazing.
I think he sold for in the billions, like definitely like way up there on the but he's been helping us, given insights. He actually helped me with my manufacturing because you only know what you know, right? You don't know
Yeah.
what you know. So he does this Mr. Miyagi thing to me, and I love it, where he says, "Go and do this," and then I do it, and then he's like, "You see what I did there?" And I'm like, "Ah, I see what you did there," but I know he's doing it, so I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay. I just give me the project, and I'll go and do it, and I'll let you Miyagi me later for the
Yeah.
punch, you know. But he actually had me take. I had 156 SKUs products that we were making in here, 156 different products, and he said, I want you to grab one of every product, all 156 on the label, write down how much money it has made you in the past 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months, and
Mm.
what percentage of sales that is on every single label in red Sharpie. So I had all 156 all over my desk, and he said, okay, take them and put them in numerical value, which are the highest and which are the lowest. And then we did that. And he said, okay, where are if you add up all the percentages, show me 80% of your revenue. And it was
Yeah.
only like a tiny slice of the table. And then he said, get rid of all of those. Everything
Mm.
else that's costing you the exact same time, money, energy, get rid of all of them. They're not making enough value for you. Only focus on those ones. It's those type of things and those type of like challenges that I love that change my life completely. So I do currently have a few mentors that do those things for me and
Yeah.
are always challenging me and checking in and making sure I'm doing the most I can with what I have, and then providing other opportunities from their sources and their perspectives and experiences to help me thrive even more on those, which is incredible. Yeah.
I love it. Well, my man, I want to say thank you so much for being on again and updating us on the business growth, your personal
Sure.
growth, and I think you've got two books that are already there. I think you just mentioned the third next one, and that'll
Yeah.
be like Great Leaders Create Leaders. I think that's the book number 3 that you just tuck away, and we'll be recording here again when
Yes,
you
sir.
come out with these next books. But I just want to give you a vote of confidence, man. You're doing such amazing things, and it's fun to see just the growth that you've been through just from my very distant view. But fun to keep tabs and excited to see what you're going to continue to do, my man.
Well, thank you, man. Yeah, and I actually forgot to mention too, we
Yeah.
were just on the Inc. 5000. We got featured in the Inc. 5000 this year. Yeah, I think you messaged me a little while
Yeah.
ago,
Yeah.
congratulating us on it. But we were actually number one in our metro area of Wilmington, Jacksonville, and then we're number 35 in the state, and 72 in consumer products, which I don't think is really that. It's kind of vague because pharmaceuticals are in that too. So it's kind
Yeah.
of like we're lumped in with them for consumer products. But we're actually ranked 1,453 in the entire state among other like over 6.5 million other businesses. So
Yeah.
we're doing it, man. We're head down and just working. And we also make a damn good product too. So
Yeah.
that definitely helps, you know.
Well, and that's a big part, right? And I think that's
Course.
the fun thing to see is it's the collaboration of the two, right? When you have a great product, you have a great culture and team, all of a sudden you can make those, epic leaps. Whereas if you have a great product but you have a bad culture, probably lack. Or if you have a great culture but you have a bad product, probably aren't making it. It's that intertwining of the two.
Those two
So
together create rocket fuel, and then we're just like through the stratosphere, man. And we do feel it. I definitely feel it. It's awesome. We love it.
I love it. Well, thank you again so much for being on, my man, and we will be having you again soon with the new books and
Yes,
when
sir.
you're Inc. 1000.
Yeah, man. Oh, that'd be rad. That'd be really cool. Thanks, man. I appreciate you.